What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, what we're going to try to do is start this car. I haven't taken much off of it as far as its ability to start. I do have to put a battery in the back. I'm going to pull it out of the E90 and then plug it all in. Get it. It's going to be charged, but get it all plugged in, and then really just try to crank this once or twice. See what happens. If it cranks and starts, perfect. If it doesn't, I might look into it some more, and if it starts, I'll probably pull it out and try to go down the street as fast as I can, because we do have a bad lower coolant hose, so it means we do have no coolant, so we don't want to warm it up too much. But in the meantime, if it starts, I'll test it a little bit, and then once I know it's a good running engine, I'll be very happy, and I'll be able to drop this, and then we have an M54 in our hands, I guess. All right, so someone came to buy the stereo from me, and ignore the messy garage before the bumper's off. But he came, he tried to buy the stereo. He has a different CCC system than mine. He's the first gen, which is a little outdated. But he didn't think it would work. I explained to him how it will work, but we had to see if we had to code it or not. And then he was asking me about why his audio didn't work. And we took a look down here, and this is unplugged on his, which means, as you guys know, this is your oh shoot, I don't even know what it's called, but it's that Logic 7 fiber optics cable. Yeah, that's what it is. So he's missing this. So he has no dings, no tings, no nothing. So I'm gonna go install this in his car, see if he'll let me record him, and then yeah, get this guy on the way with the fixed BMW in less than 10 minutes. So here's his BMW, nice blue one, and gonna install this, and hopefully he gets his audio back, because he said he just bought this car a few days ago, so it's his first BMW. All right, just like that, the blue 335 is gone, and this guy that had an F30 328, he's gone. He just left. He gave me $800 for the tail lights, the M3 steering, the carbon fiber wheel, and the rear bumper. So $800 is fair for me. I know some of you guys might price them more, but I'm a low price kind of guy, because I love the deals, I love blessings. So to an extent, I kind of blessed them, right? Give them good deals, get them excited, because that's what I love to do. I love going home thinking, dang, I just snagged this for a good deal. And like I said, I'm not really trying to do this for a living, just picked up the car, make some money, get some parts, and so forth. But they're gone, and we've barely even touched the car. I guess they did take a lot of things, but still, we still got a lot to go, hopefully. So in that case, next clip you probably see is me, hopefully warmer, and putting that battery in that 335i. Okay guys, so a couple days have passed. I've been stuck inside because, as you guys saw, it's been snowing here, but I finally went ahead and pulled the battery out of my car. I'm not even gonna buy a battery for this car, because like I said, we're probably gonna part it out, which is, you know, just the way it is. So I put this battery in here in this car. I have not taken apart the actual engine yet. It's like startable, you know, to where I haven't removed everything, but at the same time, we don't know if it will start. Yeah, I was checking everything looks good. We're just gonna go ahead and see if it'll crank, start it, and then possibly take it on a little rip. Not very sure, but let me go and start this so we can see if we bought a good car with a good engine or a good deal with a bad engine. We'll see. Okay, 335i, first start. Let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Here. That did not click over. Now I'm not sure if it's the starter or if it's the actual engine. Let me go ahead and put more power to it, put the jumper pack just in case it's the battery. I don't think it is, but I'll put the battery on her, and then we'll see if it cranks again. If it doesn't crank, that means this engine is either seized up or the starter is bad, which is also a possibility. I do have another starter. I don't know if it's worth putting. I'll probably just put power to the starter, see if it cranks, and then we'll go from there. But let me do the battery first, and we'll give it another crank. Okay, so both of those things were unsuccessful. I put more juice to it. It sounds like it starts to crank, and then it lets off. I'm not sure if it's the starter still or the engine. So I figured I'll probably pull the intake off, pull this stuff off. If you do a wanna blast, you know you have to put power to the starter, you can get the crank over so you can adjust the valve so you can blast it. So I'm gonna do that, pull this off, put some power to that starter, hope it cranks over. If it does, that is I guess that would be a good bad sign, because I'd have to wonder why. And then, I don't know, because if the engine is seized, the starter is not gonna start. And it doesn't matter if I put power to it, it's not gonna crank. So I'm gonna look for a socket for the front, see if I can spin the crank by hand. If I can, I'll probably do that first. Do the crank by hand first. If I can crank it over, I know it's not seized and it's just a starter issue. If it doesn't spin at all, then I know it's the actual engine and I'm not even gonna worry about trying to start it. I'm just gonna yank it all. Regardless, I'll keep this engine. It has a lot of good parts. I can do an oil cooler now. I get free inlets, I get intakes, even though I already have those, so I'll probably sell those. But it's still worth the money in parts, coilovers, wheels, doors, stuff like that. So it's just gonna be a plus because I wanted to keep this for a future project, just in case I found a BMW needed or N54 mainly that needed an engine. I figured we have a good engine, especially if I bought a higher mileage one. Because like I said, I wouldn't want to scam anybody, but at the same time, it's just the way it goes sometimes. So I'll try that. If it works, I'll let you guys know. If not, next thing you'll see is me starting to get ready to strip this thing down because I still need to get rid of this regardless. And sure, transmission's still good, especially since this is an engine issue. And yeah, you win some, you lose some. Still winning, but just not as winning. So let me just go test this, and then we'll go and see if we can get started. Okay, so funny thing just happened. I was sitting in the car playing with the audio. This thing has those aftermarket BAB audio speakers in the front. Pretty sick. I'm probably gonna take them. But I did go ahead and try to crank this right now, and it did give me signs of life. It definitely did crank. It does sound like no compression, I'm not gonna lie. It sounded a little bit soft, but I'll let you guys hear it out. I'm gonna try to crank it one more time and we will see what happens. Okay, and since it cranked, we're gonna go ahead and do a little trick. I don't have any starter fluid, I have brake fluid that's pretty flammable. So I'll go ahead and stick that in the throttle body, open the throttle body, put that in the intake, see if we can get to at least turn over, get a few cranks, a few runs. After cranking it a few times, and I went back there, checked the fuel pump, I heard it prime, I took everything off so I can listen to it. It did prime, so that's good. I removed the line here off the fuel rail, and it does how do I put it? It does leak fuel. So now I'm wondering if it's either one of the sensors or I'm not very sure. So I'm gonna crank that real quick. Let's stick this in here and see if we get any cranking. Okay, we got some brake cleaner in there. I'm gonna try to crank it again. This time it's gonna start. I have faith it's gonna start on camera so we can see what it sounds like and you guys can see that it runs. And maybe some of you guys can tell me if it's good enough the way it sounds, that I should just pull it, store it, and then figure that stuff out later, or I don't know. But here, take a listen to this. It should start. Let's see what happens. Running, not the best, but it's running. Okay, so now it's running. We got the check engine light, half engine light. That's probably because we have the charge pipe off. It's idling pretty smooth. A lot of exhaust smoke. Could be turbos. Doesn't smell like. Just smells like it's been sitting or something. It could be the turbos though. Not very sure. I'm just gonna let it warm up a little bit because we have no coolant inside of it. but at the same time, it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to make sure that this thing started. We'll check the engine out real quick. Running, I mean, not the best, but it's running, right? And I just need to know it's a good engine. So now we have a good engine here. I think we'll just go ahead and turn this off and pull the engine. I mean, this is a good engine to me, right? Idling fine. So good news, we got a car that runs. Sad it's got to come apart, but it's part of the game, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a few more revs for you guys, and then we'll call it a day. We'll say this car runs. Okay, that was that. Let's see if it starts one more time. Okay, yeah. Much better start. Half engine still. But that almost doesn't matter. Okay, that started up fine, you know what I mean? So maybe I'll put the wheels on, see if we can pull it out at least. Well, that is a lot smoother. Okay, this thing is smooth. Okay. Okay, that was more than I can ask for. No idea what happened. No idea what's going on. Why I didn't want to start it first, and now it's starting fine. Just one of those things, I guess. So can't complain, ladies and gentlemen. We got a running and driving N54, which is pretty sweet. All right, so just like that, she came out. Seems to have driven fine. It won't be the last test, but it won't be the first test either. That made no sense. But yeah, so it drove fine, pulling out. I'm not gonna run it anymore because I don't want to overheat the engine because it doesn't have any coolant in it. I might run some through the block just to make sure, because I'd rather that warm up the coolant than have nothing and overheat there. But runs and drives, which is pretty insane. I guess the kid wasn't lying. He told me he did, but you know, I figured he'd either blown it on accident after, or it was initially blown. He just, you know how it is buying cars. So it does run, does drive. That is pretty exciting. Now I have to see as to what I'm gonna do next. Like I said, I got a guy coming tomorrow for the hood, the fender. I'm gonna take that carbon fiber lip, get it repainted for my car. I'm gonna take these wheel studs. I already took the front ones off. I gotta get the rear ones off, put those on my car. M3 side skirts, if you need them, you know, let me know. They has a little bit of nicks. You need to get them kind of repaired before you paint them. But besides that, it's pretty solid. I got a black shadow line window trim if you need that, and stuff like that. So it's basically ready to be disassembled, I guess. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna put good air in the tires, take it all apart, and we might take it for a rip tomorrow, but that'll be in tomorrow's video. And then after that, I have to get serious on taking everything I need, everything I want, so I can get rid of this shell sooner than later. So until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.